tell you I'm the realest soldier. Shine. Competition, I really don't see none. Hottest rappers is not on my level. Even though my career just begun, I'm still feeling hot as a devil. If you plotting, I'm cocking the metal. You could get shot with your pops if I catch you. Still moving walk, knocks got several. When will I stop? I cannot tell you. See, I just...
Yo, what's up everybody? Scotty GLL coming at you with another video. Today's a big one. I want to go over 3 of the biggest mistakes I see a lot of these dating coaches make on YouTube and how they could be misleading you guys. Because it's one thing to say, you know, a mindset to implement and then show an infield of what that looks like and it not match up. So it's obvious to my eye, but a lot of guys would miss this. So we'll go with the first opening, middle, and then the closing. So a lot of guys will say have an unapologetic mindset when you open, and when you watch an infield of them, they go in very apologetic. You know, hey, excuse me, miss, I'm sorry to bother you. I know this is random, but I think you're really cute. Like, that's all a buildup of the unapologetic mind. So how could you say that it doesn't match up? So it shows me that a lot of these guys are beginner to intermediate at best. The second biggest issue is a lot of these guys will say always be going for the pull, which is should advance this to see if you'll be ready for an insta date or a pull right then and there. And a lot of that stuff is not what they actually show. And a lot of these guys don't do that. They're kind of content with a number. They don't think they could take it that far. They don't really push the boundary that far. They say, don't play it safe, but all these guys are playing it safe. Believe me, I've seen all these guys are playing it very safe. They're settling for numbers when quite possibly they don't need to. In fact, I've seen some of them give false time constraints just to get out and take a number on Instagram, like real beginner level type stuff. Okay, that's number 2. They're very, very uncalibrated in the transition aspect of things. If you're a smaller guy, you know, you want to be closing the gap and be a little bit more dominating with and assertive with your presence, you know, and that's one thing they don't do. They seem very awkward and they'll give this weird, you know, over the shoulder head turn, very, very uncalibrated, creepy stuff. And at the very best, you'll see a phone number exchange or maybe an Instagram even. That's kind of number 2 and number 3, but no sort of physical dialogue whatsoever. You know, extremely minimal with any sort of physical touch and making it look smooth and comfortable for the girl. I don't really see any of that stuff, quite frankly. So it's one thing to be talking mindset stuff and it sounds really good and anybody can quite frankly say it, but it doesn't make you a good coach. You have to be able to display these certain mindsets and implement it practically. And you especially don't see it during any daytime approaches, really. I mean, if anything, I've seen some sloppy night game sort of touching stuff, but that's about it, where it's permissible and stuff like that, and it's not a big deal. But during the daytime, to pull it off is a different level. And these guys are playing it way too safe, way, way too safe, and they're very, very uncalibrated. So listen, guys, tap in with me, coaching, get your game leveled up. I'll be dropping some more infield in the very near future, and book a session right now. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.